going to be teaching the upper body facing side series. Now you want to think overhead press, drawing sword. Typically for this, I would offer a blue spring. If you have clients with shoulder impingements, I might go to the yellow spring. Or if you have a stronger client, you can always offer them a red. So one spring on. We could also do this kneeling, but this is an assistant teaching log. When you're first starting to teach, it is important and valuable to reduce the things that could go wrong. So by doing that, we could sit on a long box or a short box, depending on how your flow is going. So if you have a long box flow, just keep it a long box. You can sit on the side. I have my heels up on the carriage. You also want to take into account where your clients are sitting on the box, because closer to the foot bar is going to increase the range of motion. That's going to increase the challenge and make it a little bit harder. Closer to the risers, it's going to stretch the spring less. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Now, we want to start with hand and strap. I would typically go for small strap. You could also offer the long strap here as well. The first one, I have hug a tree. So it's a single arm sitting up tall. We're going to close the arms in together and then open. Okay, so we close and open. Now we're looking for our posture, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. We're also looking for this plumb line through the middle of the body, nose, sternum, belly button, pubic bone in one straight line. So as I'm working through this hug motion, I'm not compensating and leaning the whole body over. Stabilize the torso, stabilize the spine, just the upper body. Okay. We want to take into account where the arms are in space. They're lifted up here. Gravity is trying to pull my arms down. So as much as we want this to be a chest and a pec exercise for our chest fly, it really is a huge shoulder exercise. Okay. Next we go to hug a moon. So same thing, but arms come out wide to the side. We come up overhead and then we open. Okay. And for this one, again, we want to try not to lose the form and just compensate through that. If clients need to move to the longer strap so that they could be a little bit more successful, have them adjust to that longer strap. Okay. Again, shoulder exercise, more of that overhead press kind of motion. Next up, we're going draw sword, or no rotation, sorry. Now, for rotations, I would bias and make this a little bit heavier, okay? And I typically start strapping the inside hand, interlace the fingers, start in front of the chest, okay? So we're rotating toward the foot bar, rotating toward the back risers. Now, what I'm looking for is nose, sternum, belly button staying in one line as I rotate. My arms stay the same shape. What you're going to see a lot of the time here is clients pushing with their arms, okay? And that kind of defeats the purpose of the movement. It's rotation, obliques, and maybe your rotation isn't as far as your arms can go, and that's okay. Now we can do inside arm or we can do outside arm and just overlap this. That changes the work a little bit. Okay, now it's going to be more of the outer part of the shoulder doing more of a pull motion versus the inner part of the arm and the chest and the bicep here doing more of a push motion. So we can always switch that up. One thing I've also found success with in clients who seem to just rotate with the arms like this is to just straighten the arms, because sometimes just holding the shape is extremely challenging. So if we do more of kind of a wood chopper, arms are straight, you're going to rotate and back to center. That's going to help keep the shape of the upper body and the spine a little better. Okay, now we go draw sword. And or Lady Liberty. I can't remember which one comes up next, but it doesn't matter. So for draw sword, I like to start with the hand in front of the belly button right here, okay? And we want to start with the elbow. So we lead elbow, and then watch as I open my forearm and my wrist out toward the foot bar, and then we go wrist, forearm, elbow, tuck it back in. Okay. If clients have shoulder impingements, move them to the long strap. Maybe we just start with the abduction. So it's just the elbow going out, elbow coming back in. That would be a regression for draw sword, okay? And or progressions here, okay? So we go elbow, forearm, wrist. Usually we retrograde. Wrist, forearm, elbow comes back in. To progress draw sword, we'll go elbow, forearm, wrist, straight arm comes back through center, okay? I'll do it again. So you go elbow, forearm, wrist, straight arm back in. Okay, one more progression here. So start straight arm here, straight arm opens out, straight arm comes back in. That's a lot of that shoulder working, a lot of the delt. Okay, last one, Lady Liberty. Again, small strap or long strap. Now you can do this palm facing in, palm facing out. It's just like an overhead press when you're going to the gym. Sometimes we do more of a narrow, sometimes we do a wide, sometimes there's like an Arnold's press kind of situation happening. So what's your intention, okay? I would start, let's say, hand facing toward the head, sitting tall, elbow tucked in relatively tight by the side, okay? Now, the goal is to reach the arm straight up and then bring it straight back down, okay? And then we can always flip the palm out, overhead press up, and then back down, okay? We could also layer and add a little bit of a lateral flexion or side reach, right? So start here, we're gonna go up and over and bring it back down. Now, when you're doing that, make sure the hips are anchored, the knees are stabilizing. Lateral flexion just comes from the side bend action. So you want to think rib to hip with that lateral flexion, okay? I think that's it on the apprentice log. I put in there as a transition, what can we do, right? We can flip 90 degrees, face toward the foot bar. We can flip 90 degrees, face toward those back risers. Before we do the other side, maybe add something in right here. You can do like a little around the world series. Grab the straps, go into your serve, your hug. Keep in mind the blue is going to be kind of light, okay? But you can definitely do that. I mean, maybe we could do like some short box abs on the long box. Sometimes I love doing that, okay? Because the long box will just give you a little bit more stability and support, especially when you're going into a tree or like a full roll down onto the box. Like this just feels so much more supported than the short box. But okay, I think that's all I have for the apprentice log upper body facing side. We would do the other side. Again, give those same options to regress the movement or progress the movement.